swear.
Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. I've never been so blackout drunk that I walked into a stranger's house dressed as a cowboy only to be assaulted by a vacuum cleaner, Perna. I have been too drunk to fornicate, just as the dead Kennedys warned me in high school. But that's a tale for a different day. Today, I will bring you every piece of the riveting Chad Kelly arrest story available to me. Broncos GM John Elway released an official statement saying, "We are very disappointed in Chad. We're cooperating with the police, but right now, I can say that is not how a Hall of Fame quarterback handles his booze." Not even close. He's right. This is John Elway on booze.
Good for you, bud.
You know what? That's too bad.
Chad Kelly on booze.
Good for you, bud.
John Elway on booze. Chad Kelly on booze. John Elway on booze. Chad Kelly on booze. That's good sports. If you're new here, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and the video. Chad Kelly was arrested at 1:17 a.m. in front of the Gothic Theatre in the great city of Englewood. The good news is this arrest moved the Denver Broncos back to the #1 party team in the NFL. Aw, yeah. They have more arrests since the year 2000 than any other team in the league, with 50. Maybe more. Party school. Party school. Party school! We are the #1 party team! Nobody beating the #1 party team, except for all the other teams better than the party team! Now, Chad Kelly is being charged with first-degree criminal trespassing, which is police lingo for getting too tore up, bro. Dispatch. Officer, we've got a possible 420-69 at Mile High Stadium. That's the call. Chad Kelly left what is now becoming an infamous TMZ-labeled cocaine party, which in reality is just Von Miller's annual Halloween party. This year, it was Western themed, not cocaine themed. If it was a real cocaine party, I would have known, because my Aunt Betsy would have been there. Aunt Betsy has never missed a Denver cocaine party. And she calls me the next day and will not shut up about it. Also, 3 or 4 of the players would have gotten lucky with Aunt Betsy. Chad Kelly was at the party, and then he was in a stranger's home. In Kelly's mind, he time traveled there, which was eloquently represented in the movie Blacked to the Future, not to be confused with the porn Blacked to the Future. Getting blackout drunk is still the closest we humans have come to mastering time travel. Chad Kelly entered this residence, sat down on the couch next to a woman holding a baby, and was apparently mumbling incoherently, which was actually just plays from Mike McCoy's 2017 offensive playbook. And then he was shooed out of the residence when a man in the home hit Kelly with an aluminum vacuum extender. Aluminum vacuum extender. Was it a Dirt Devil extender or a Dyson extender? If it was a Dyson, then Chad Kelly should be honored to be assaulted by a vacuum cleaner that not even he can afford. This just proves that dogs aren't the only animals scared off by vacuum cleaners. Here's Chad Kelly's mugshot from the arrest and a reenactment of what the event may have looked like if the owners in the home had a Roomba vacuum. Now back to the mugshot. Ignore that his eyes are not level. That's just his face, but those glazed eyeballs are a dead giveaway that he is blitzed. I can spot drunk eyeballs like that from a mile away. Can also spot a blitz from a mile away like Peyton Manning. Wait, what? It's now being reported that no alcohol was found in Chad Kelly's system? No! No fucking way! You're telling me this is a photo of a man who has had nothing to drink? Well, I am not rewriting all of my drunk Chad Kelly jokes, that's for sure. That makes this story even more disturbing. What was he on? Ambien and ecstasy? Weed and Ambien? Ambien laced with more Ambien? Gotta be something mixed with Ambien to walk into someone's home dressed as a cowboy only to get beat up by a vacuum cleaner. If Chad Kelly broke into my home, I would have shot him in the fucking face with a dose of reality and explained to him that he is a professional athlete and needs to comport himself in a manner that reflects the organization in a positive light. I don't know what the laws are like in Buffalo, but where I come from, it's generally frowned upon to get absolutely tanked or high and enter a house that very clearly does not belong to you. If you're a member of the Denver Broncos football organization, the only forgivable arrests are drunk driving, disorderly conduct, and domestic violence. Chad Kelly and Megyn Kelly were both trending on Twitter at the same time today. I'm not sure which is more irresponsible. Kelly entering a house he doesn't know is his own, or Megyn Kelly asking why blackface is offensive. And to be clear, Emmanuel Sanders was not wearing whiteface at the Von Miller Halloween party. That's cocaine face, and no, that's not a throwback Michael Irvin costume. That's Chappelle Show character crackhead Tyrone Biggums. Hilarious costume. Also, Adam Jones went as Bubba Fett from Star Wars. Very safe move. Brandon Marshall was famous cocaine user Bobby Brown. Chris Harris went as Jon Snow, but if you put Brandon Marshall next to Chris Harris, it just looks like Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. Also a good costume. I'm sure we'll learn more if the toxology report emerges, and I won't be surprised if we learn that Chad Kelly was drugged. You might think linebacker Brandon Marshall did it with his Halloween party cocaine, his giant bag of cocaine, but that's not real cocaine. That's just a hilarious part of a costume. My theory is Case Keenum, sensing a threat behind him, slipped Kelly a Mickey, as they used to say. Wait, wait, mystery solved. What if Chad Kelly just purchased some bad diet pills from Bill Romanowski, which Romo was indicted on and acquitted of in 2000? That actually makes sense. Chad Kelly knew he might get his first NFL start very soon, as Jason Lockenfortia reported just a day ago. He said to himself, shit, I need to get in better shape, football shape, to lead this team back to the promised land. My nickname isn't swag for nothing, so he called up the most trustworthy former player in NFL history, Bill Romanowski, and asked for some fitness supplements. That's the only logical explanation here, that or the Keenum framing angle. This story is really turning out to be like an old noir film from the 40s. All we need now is Mia Khalifa as the femme fatale, and we could get this produced in less than a year. What does this mean for Chad Kelly's future, or for the Broncos' future? No fucking clue at this point. We'll see if the Broncos release him. If they do, he may become the world's most famous door-to-door vacuum salesman. This does suck for Kelly, not a vacuum pun, as he showed potential this preseason to be a good quarterback in the NFL. And I know these charges are serious. He was clearly not in his right mind, which could be for numerous reasons, and I think this is an example, in addition to his history, of a guy who needs some real help. The positive news is that besides entering someone's house uninvited, he didn't harm anyone, destroy anything, or show malicious intent. He's basically Michael Scott showing up to Jim's barbecue uninvited, but high. Again, if Chad Kelly walked into my house, I'd be asking the Denver Broncos how much they're willing to pay for me to drop the charges. I'd be asking for the same amount of money Menelik Watson is making to be an invisible member of the team. As bizarre as this story is, I think getting your ass kicked by a vacuum is more respectable than getting outplayed by a McDonald's bag like the original Brandon Marshall did back in 2008. I do have Big Dick Patreon shoutouts for E-Ram upping to $3 for his shoutout to Alexander Miller and Addy Costa. And that is how you keep this channel alive. Patreon.com/ThatsGoodSports. I appreciate all of your monthly donations. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I'm on Twitter at Brandon Perna, Instagram at Brandon Perna. Will Keys and I will have our podcast up Thursday morning on my second channel, That's Good Podcasts, so subscribe there too. I ask a lot of you. I know that. I know how goddamn demanding I am.